Hi there, it's Ruth here at Artful Stamping. I just wanted to come on and share a little bit more about the gorgeous celebration products that are available. This is some samples of the beautiful DSP that's available, and it's foiled and it creates a beautiful resist. So I'm going to show you how this works in just a second. Before I do that, I just want to show you, I've started to colour this in with the Stampin' Blends, and the colour is so vibrant and lovely. So this, you get a pack of paper of 12 of these pieces of cardstock. They're 12 by 12, these are cut down into quarter, and it's absolutely free when you spend £45, which isn't hard to do considering all the gorgeous things that are in the current spring, summer and current catalogue. A word on this though, although it's described as paper, it's actually more like card. You could make beautiful boxes out of this, and it's sturdy enough to maybe make, I don't know, a cover for a scrapbook album, or, you know, it really is thick. Maybe they should have called it card, not paper, but it is thicker than paper. Right, so the other thing I wanted to show you was this here, and I'm going to be making a card for my nephew, and I thought this image here was quite a fun one for a teenager. It's from the Epic Celebrations stamp set, and I've used the headphones there. Now, if you look closely, can you see that the headphones are actually like white? How did I do that? Well, I've gone back to use a technique that I used a couple of years ago, and I absolutely loved it, where I used the fine tip glue pen. So if I just grab it, you'll be able to see how that works. This is the fine tip glue, and it has a very useful pin in the lid to stop it clogging up. So after you stamp your image, you can put the glue, just basically flood the image with this glue and leave it to dry. I think I left it maybe for an afternoon or maybe overnight just to make sure it really was properly dried before I then sprinkled some Brushos on and then spritzed it with water. And I used the yellow, orange and I think it was the green Brushos for that. And you can see that because this the glue created a resist, it's not showing up on that area. I then stamped this background from this lovely stamp here from Amazing You, just at the sides, and now I want to finish off the card, so I thought I'd do that with you. I'm going to be using the out they pop, the sponge brayers. I really do like these for creating backgrounds. And I have I think it's maybe 2 packs of the sponges here, or maybe 3, because I try and not mix colours too much. So I have sort of a mid-orangey peachy colour there, a lighter one for lighter colours, and then we'll see how it goes from there. So let's start with a lighter colour. So I'm going to be using Crushed Curry. And so this is just a really lovely silvery striped card, and I'm just rolling my brayer over the top. Now you can probably see I'm not going backwards and forwards, I'm only going in one direction. It doesn't matter which direction you go in, always go in the same direction, because you need to make sure that the whole sponge is full of colour. If you just go backwards and forwards, you end up just having colour from that point to that point, which isn't very helpful when you try and get it onto your paper. So I'm going to start off by just layering the colour on, and look at that, doesn't it go on beautifully? And I'm just moving up slightly and down slightly on my card to make sure that we get kind of even coverage. And as I'm rolling backwards and forwards, every so often I might sort of lift the brayer up just to sort of change the direction everything's going, to make sure everything gets covered evenly. Well, that went on much more vibrantly than I expected, I have to say, and I don't know whether it's because the cardstock is slightly glossy. It just seems to take the colour absolutely beautifully. Here I've got pumpkin pie, so let's get this one loaded up. And I'm going to start in the middle and then go down a little bit to start blending into the yellow. And you can see how that could create a beautiful sunset kind of effect. There we go. And then finally I've got Tangerine Tango. And to make life easier for me, I'm going to just turn that round so that I can approach it from the right hand side because I'm right-handed. Just trying to decide which one to use. I think that one. So if you're left-handed, then obviously approach it from the left. And you know, crafting is meant to be easy and not too labour intensive. So always be aware of how you're using your hands and which direction. If you're, you know, moving your hands in a way that it starts to feel uncomfortable, maybe have a think about how the card is positioned in front of you, or you know, how you're using a stamp and so on. Because if you do a lot of crafting, you do run the danger of getting like sometimes repetitive strain injury. I certainly have done that in the past, particularly with jewellery making and things. So just be aware of that. Okay, so this colour is not quite as strong as I wanted it to be, so I think we're going to just get the Calypso Coral, and because that's a slight shade darker. Oh, she says, maybe not, I haven't got it available. I think it's all packed up in a class bag, so I'm going to use a bit of real red here. So I just want a little bit dark. Oh dear, that is darker. Oh well, never mind. Okay, I'm just going to blend that into the orange. Oh, and further. Oh well, it looks good though. I'm just going to blend that all the way down so it doesn't look like it wasn't meant to be there. I might just add a little bit more up here. I think it could be that my real red ink pad is just quite juicy because I may have inked it up recently. So that be a lesson to you. Maybe just check that your ink pads don't need re-inking. Right, so close these up. Going to have a look now how that looks on there. Oh, I do like that. Nice and vibrant. I think I'm going to find a little piece of black card to make a matting layer because I want this to really stand out, and because this is patterned as well, it just needs a little break between the design and the background. Okay, so I've cut myself a black piece of cardstock, basic black, that I think is just going to make that pop a little bit more. So let's start sticking this down. And while I was cutting the black piece of card, I also trimmed down the piece of designer series paper because it was, I had cut it to 6 inches by 6 inches, and I needed it a little bit smaller to actually make my card with. So I'm using Fast Fuse. Now incidentally, Fast Fuse is going to be retiring, and basically it's get them while stocks last. In America they've already sold out of Fast Fuse, so if you do like Fast Fuse and you want to get hold of some more, then do purchase it now because it is on its way out, and we're just waiting to hear what Stampin' Up! Is going to replace it with. We don't know just yet, but I am sure that they will have a solution. They usually do. So I'm just going to trim this down a little bit because I ended up with, I don't know, I was eyeballing it and I wasn't happy with it, so okay. So my paper's a little bit curly from when I had to dampen it to get the Brushos to work, so right, so let's pop this on, eyeball that, get it in place. This has turned out to be a really kind of fun, vibrant card. So do have a go using the sponging technique or brayering to get a background onto these foiled papers. It is such a quick and easy way to decorate them and really make the designs pop. And the other thing about these is they're various sort of metallics. This one's like a rose gold or copper with some gold areas. This one's got gold and silver, and this one's like a coppery or rose gold tone. So they really, really are gorgeous. Right, well, thank you for joining me today, and I hope you've been inspired. Don't forget to press the subscribe button if you like what you see, if you're not already. And also, my son reminded me, Mum, you've got to tell people to click on the bell as well, because if you don't click on the bell, you won't get immediate notifications of when I do a new video, or if I go live, which is super fun as well. So do that. Do go and check how you're subscribed to me, because if you want to get an instant notification, then you do have to click the bell. Right, well, take care for now, and head over to artfulstampin.co.uk to purchase any of the products that you see today. Take care for now. Bye.